When you talk about cricket and trophies, there are certain names that spring into mind. Ashes, Border Gavaskar Trophy, Pataudi Trophy, Anthony de Mello Trophy. Even for West Indies, Sri Lanka, there is the Sobers Tisera Trophy. But when it came to New Zealand and South Africa, there wasn't a very specific trophy that had to be named for it. But now in the 2024 series, you're going to see New Zealand and South Africa play for the Tangi Shield Trophy. What is the Tangi Shield Trophy? In this video, you are going to see the tragic and emotional backstory of what really constituted the Tangi Shield. You won't want to miss this. Find out what was the reason, the emotional and tragic reason behind naming this series the Tangi Shield Trophy.
1953 was a big year for New Zealand. Edmund Hillary had become the first individual to scale Mount Everest and had brought laurels to New Zealand. But the year would soon be remembered for a very different reason.
Now, every cricket trophy that is there in the world has a very unique background to it. But the Tangi Shield Trophy has a very tragic background to it. It is perhaps one of the only trophies that has a tragic past behind it. What is the tragedy? It was a tragedy that galvanized New Zealand. It was a tragedy that galvanized New Zealand cricket, and it also moved South Africa to tears. What was it?
The Tangi Shield Trophy commemorates the tragic events of 1953, in which a train disaster changed the entire landscape of New Zealand and its cricket team. At 10:21 p.m. on Christmas Eve 1953, the Wellington-Auckland Night Express derailed at Tangi. 151 people died out of the 285 passengers, and it was New Zealand's worst railway accident. It was at that time the world's 8th deadliest rail disaster and made headlines around the globe. The tragedy coincided with the second test between New Zealand and South Africa at Ellis Park in Johannesburg on December 24th. The New Zealand squad spent Christmas Day at their team hotel, but woke up on Boxing Day to the news of the accident. Bob Blair, one of the players, remained at the hotel to grieve for the loss of his fiancée in the Tangi train disaster. It was announced that he had withdrawn from the match, and flags at the ground were lowered to half-mast. But Blair appeared out of the players' tunnel after New Zealand lost their 9th wicket for 154, which left the players and the crowd at Ellis Park stunned. Along with Bert, he put up a 33-run stand to drag New Zealand to 187 and avoid the follow-on. It remains one of the most defining moments in New Zealand sporting history.
Now, this is truly a novel way of honoring a rivalry that has existed for close to 100 years. New Zealand and South Africa share a formidable rivalry, but this Tangi Shield really adds that nostalgia, that emotion, which transcends sport in a big way. For the first time, these two teams will be fighting out for the Tangi Shield Trophy. It has gotten context at this point, and one hopes in the future, all these kind of events are really propped up in the sporting calendar. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us in this video. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.